What a mess, right? One of the viewers had a very legitimate question as to how I do dishes and stuff living in the van, stealth camping here. I'm currently at the Walmart parking lot. And I just ate some of my homemade spaghetti or rotini, and you can see there's some leftovers. And it is kind of a mess. So this is what I do. Basically, I take a plastic spoon, and I scrape off as much as I can. That's why you're seeing all these scrape marks. It's usually not from me eating, from scraping on there. It's from scraping from cleaning. So that's why all these scrape marks are on this thing. But I basically will scrape all this up as much as I can, and then put it into a trash bag, like right here. And then that should get rid of most of it, like probably about 90% of the solids. And then I just take a little bit of water in there, sluice it around, and then soak it up with paper towels. I use the cheap Walmart 50-cent paper towels. I go through quite a few of these. One little roll here is 50 cents, and it'll probably last me about 5 or 6 different meals that I use to clean it up. So maybe 10 cents per meal to clean up, if it's this big a mess. A lot of times it's not this messy. Like the wet noodles that I make, it doesn't leave much of a mess at all. I just rinse it with water, and it's done. So this I actually have to scrape. So let me go ahead and scrape it and show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, here you can see it took like less than a minute. But you can see I've scraped up the food, so it's in a pile here, the solids. And I'm just going to scoop that up and put it into the trash right there. Then it's a matter of putting a little bit of water in here, slushing it around using the spoon to mix it all up. Then using a paper towel to sop it up and then put it into the trash. I'm not going to use too much water. I know some people recommend spraying like water with vinegar, or just vinegar to clean things, and that will work because vinegar tends to cut through things and clean. But I don't bother doing that. I just use the regular hot water, not hot water, but regular water. And sometimes I will use a little bit of dishwasher soap, but I don't have any with me right now, and I don't plan on getting any because I don't really do too much cooking that makes a mess in here. I've narrowed down the kind of foods that I cook to the point where I usually don't produce too much grease. Like right now, grease would require me to use the dishwasher soap to try to get all the grease off. But all I'm going to do now is just take this and dump it and then wipe this clean. Then put a little bit of water in there and then clean it again. So I'll show you what it looks like after each step. And now we're just going to go ahead and scoop this out and dump it. Alright, here you can see I've taken the spoon and I essentially just scooped up all the solids that I could get. I'm basically just scooping all the solids and just dumping it into the trash. See? It's pretty clean already. Now all we need to do is take a paper towel and wipe this down. And then put a little bit of water in here and swish it around. Now sometimes you get like burns that stick on here. The way to get rid of those, you can use soda, which I have here, and just pour it in there and let it sit. You don't need that much, just a little bit. Or you can just put water in there and let it soak overnight. I'm not saying fill this whole thing up. I'm saying just put a little bit so that it's damp. And then like, see, here's a little solid part that I might have to put a little bit of water on. But I'm going to wipe all this down and show you what it looks like. I will take a paper towel, my cheap Walmart paper towel here, and just wipe that down to clean it up. Because we're trying not to make too much of a mess. Alright, here you can see what it looks like after I take the paper towel and I wipe it. You can see it's kind of a mess, but it's already pretty clean in here. So all I'm going to do now is just take a little bit of water, like a damp towel and some water in there, and just finish cleaning it. And it's pretty much done. And that's all there is to doing this. It probably takes a whopping 5 minutes or less to do the dishes. So I hope that was able to answer your questions.